The pivot to merchant silicon. Amazon is now negotiating to sell Trainium3 silicon directly to third-party data centers, ending nearly a decade of AWS exclusivity. This is not just a secondary revenue stream, it is a pivot to merchant silicon that places the company in direct competition with Nvidia as a hardware vendor. Recent first-quarter data shows their custom chip unit already hitting a $20 billion annual run rate, even before shipping a single rack to an outside customer. By moving beyond the rental model, they are attempting to solve the supply bottleneck by becoming the supplier themselves. But the silicon itself reveals an even more aggressive architectural bet: the 3-nanometer advantage. The Trainium3 architecture is the first AI accelerator to hit the TSMC 3-nanometer node at scale, delivering 2.5 petaflops of FP8 performance per chip. While the marketing focuses on raw flops, the real engineering win is the memory subsystem, which features 144 gigabytes of HBM3E with 4.9 terabytes per second of bandwidth. This specific memory configuration is the reason major labs like Anthropic have committed to 5 gigawatts of capacity, as it specifically targets the massive weights of frontier models that typically choke on standard GPU memory limits. Raw specs are one thing, but these numbers hit a wall when compared to current industry software standards. Hardware parity versus software friction. Benchmarks show the Trainium3 Ultra server reaching 362 petaflops per rack, which matches Nvidia Blackwell performance in theoretical throughput. However, the hardware parity is frequently negated by the Neuron SDK, which still requires significant manual kernel optimization compared to the mature CUDA ecosystem. You can currently acquire these racks for approximately 40% less than a comparable DGX system, but the engineering overhead to port PyTorch kernels without performance degradation remains a hidden tax for many teams. This hardware parity is driving a fundamental shift in how the largest labs build their infrastructure: the signal under the noise. This shift to selling hardware signals the end of the cloud provider as a closed garden. By offering Trainium3 as a standalone product, Amazon is betting that the global hardware bottleneck is a larger revenue opportunity than maintaining the exclusive AWS ecosystem. This move transforms the industry battle from cloud-level lock-in to the compiler level, where the Neuron SDK must now prove it can handle diverse third-party environments without the massive support staff of a hyperscaler. For builders, this means the choice of silicon is finally decoupling from the choice of cloud provider, forcing Nvidia to compete on performance per dollar rather than just being the only available option in a supply-constrained market. If this merchant strategy succeeds, it forces a pricing correction across the entire accelerator stack as custom silicon becomes a liquid commodity rather than a proprietary service. The real signal to watch is the deployment of the first non-AWS data center running a full Trainium4 cluster in early 2027, which will confirm if Amazon can sustain the logistics and software support required to be a true merchant silicon vendor. Subscribe for more,